Hello everyone and welcome to KDH art class. So today we're going to be working with a style of painting called pointillism. Pointillism is when you create your pictures with dots, not drawing lines, but making dots close to each other, further away from each other. So this is kind of a warm-up class for pointillism. Now some of the tools that we are going to be using today will be a pin that you would do sewing with, and you just stick it into the eraser of a pencil, and you have this great little dot maker. You could use a toothpick, you could use a Q-tip, right? Or you can use other found objects that have, a circle about it to get different size circles. So I have different marker tops here. As you can see, you could get kind of a skinnier circle effect here. This one would be just kind of a skinny round circle. You won't be able to get the circle inside because it is inside. We can only use what's sticking out the furthest. Okay, and paint. Oh, maybe you don't have paint. Maybe you have nail polish. Nail polish will work great. All right. What are we going to paint today? We're going to be painting a rock. I have one over here. It's still drying, but I decided that it would be great for my garden because I am now learning how to take the ends of the celery and regrow it, as well as taking the top of the pineapple. And I had no idea you could twist this off. Right? And then you put them in water, change the water out every couple days till it starts growing roots, and plant them. So I'm going to be giving that a try. But I thought it'd be kind of neat to have some rocks or something to tell whoever's looking in my garden, which is myself and my husband right now, what it is. So let's get started with some different techniques. Now keep in mind that you can add things to it. It's going to be outside, so it may not last as long, but for the most part, you can find a little sequence, little gemstones, googly eyes, any of those would be kind of cool to add to your little rock. You can turn it into a little monster or creature. You can actually just truly paint this. But again, we're focusing on that pointillism, which is creating our dots. Now, if you put the dots really close together, like the word celery, then it looks like a continuous line. Or you can separate them and get different size dots and different colors around. And this is a really fun project that anyone can do. So I'm trying to make sure that I gear my lessons for anybody to be able to do. Make it more challenging if you have greater art skills. Keep it simple if you're just a beginner. So from kindergarten on up, even pre-K can do this. Goodness gracious, just about any grade. Get a big enough rock, put a footprint or a handprint on their mom or dad, and remember your child, they're going to grow up quick. All right, so the two techniques. If I'm going to add these little gemstones on, I'm going to either use the acrylic paints or the nail polish as my glue. So I'll need to make sure it's big enough and thick enough, and then I'll attach it. So if I'm going to go with this little gem in the middle, let's see, maybe I'll use this fun little color here and place it on there and make sure it's just a little bit bigger. Again, focus is dots, a little bit bigger than the gem, And that way, when I attach the gem, it will cover the whole bottom and stick it on there pretty well. Now, I'm actually going to let it dry a little bit before I add the gem, so hopefully I don't forget that. I do get focused on other things, and you never know what happens. All right, so if you're using something like nail polish, please keep something by at all times. Prepare first. Make sure you're working on a surface that is not mom's table. Oh, goodness. Or, just be careful what surface you're working on. Make sure it's well protected. Keep some sort of tissues, paper towels, wash rags nearby. All right. Now, I'm going to just kind of do, I don't know, just a little random design. You can use the brush if it is something like, a little nail polish thing, and just barely touch it. Try not to wiggle it around like I did on that one. And as you run out of the paint, of course, refill it and the such. All right. You could also use other items. Okay. Obviously, the Q-tip would do something larger. The toothpick and the pinhead would do something smaller. So let's see. You know what? I don't know if this color will show up. I have not tested this one. Let's find out together. It's a fun bright blue. It looks like it'll show. All right, so if I'm going to do the Q-tip, right, down and up, don't drag it anywhere. You just want to touch. Oh, you can see it. Oh, it's so bright and fun. All right, and I think I'm just going to do kind of like a radial art. That means art that goes in a circle. Some people call them mandalas, as it's radial art. But as long as you remember that it's in a circular pattern, you're good to go. So you have that nice and fun. Notice I just keep closing things up as I go along. I have a bad habit of talking with my hands and accidentally knocking things over. Okay, so you know what? I haven't tested the Q-tip in a while. So we could do any of these colors. In fact, I might do this baby blue. Do make sure lids are closed tightly. If you're shaking it, you do need to kind of make sure you mix your paints before you use them. All right, and let's see. Ooh, touch it right there. See how it makes a smaller dot in our little pointillism technique. So you can experiment with that, and obviously I did not let the darker blue dry. I'm just going right on top, so again, be careful that you're not mixing it. And I might even be able to put a little dot right there in the middle of that. This is wonderful. You really get some tiny little details. It is spreading a little bit in the wet. I kind of like it, but it is breaking the dot rule that we have. And I think I'll just do it in between. Running out of paint. Oh goodness, I forgot to move my phone. You're going to hear some dinging going on. Normally, nobody calls me on my phone. I'm not a big phone person, but this is 2020 and we are in the middle of a pandemic. A pandemic is an illness that is all over the world. I learned a lot about pandemics this year. So we are all not locked down in our houses, but we are encouraged to stay home, to help stop spreading the germs. So school is out. Don't get any idea, kids. Just because you have the sniffles does not mean school is going to get shut down. All right. This happens to be a very new and unique germ that we're learning about, and it's beautiful seeing the whole world kind of join together to come up with something to treat this with. It's like we're all united together in our efforts to find, a treatment for it, or even something that's, going to keep us from getting it in the future. But viruses are tricky. Again, learned a lot. All right, so as I'm going along, I can now switch back. Oh, I have not done my toothpick yet. So let me set this to the side, wipe off the excess, so it's not going to drip anywhere. That's not going to work. You want to roll around everywhere. Probably should have picked a different color. It's hard to tell the difference between the Q-tip, toothpick and the paint. Well, I am discovering that I like the pinhead better so far. Oh, but it does make the most tiny little dot. Since you cannot see it, I'm not going to bother with it. I'm just going to go ahead and go back to my little brush here. The paint is way down in there. Obviously, I like pink nail polish. Granted, I have my blue on right now. Yeah. So again, this technique is called pointillism. And it's just using dots. And again, you can put dots inside of dots. You can put them next to each other. They can touch each other. But I just wanted this to be a fun little warm-up activity to pointillism, just to kind of get used to making neat little designs and patterns with dots and colors instead of drawing. So I'm going to make it all the way around. There we go. Well, I hope you have fun playing around with the different things. Again, whatever you have at your house will work great. Nail polish, again, make sure your surface is prepared before you do all this. Oh, see, I told you I was going to forget. Or acrylic paints work. Oh, this is going to be tricky. And that changed it up beautifully. Now it's got a little sparkle to it. And I'm wishing I had some more of that orange around. There she is. Squishing out around it a little bit. And come up with inspirational words. Love, hope, peace, happiness, joy, art, music. You can turn them into your favorite sporting equipment, baseballs, basketballs, tennis balls, golf balls, animals. Donate them to the animal shelter to decorate their flower beds, rescue animal shelters, anything like that. And enjoy your pointillism painting technique. Have a great day, and please subscribe to KDH Art Class for more lessons that will teach you art as well as just have fun. Bye.